Hi guys, it's Jalal here and we are live from London. Welcome to a new episode of Nightlife Pioneers. I am here with one of the most important nightlife entrepreneurs of London, my friend Sean.
Hi guys, I'm Sean Monteine. Thanks for having me, Jalal.
You're welcome. Pleasure to have you.
Don't rush, slow touch, brown and white. Like I go country, carbon by. We can go bust, eye for eye. We can lose trust, white rum.
Okay, so Sean, for people who don't know you yet, can you give us a little introduction about yourself, what you do?
Yeah, well, obviously before COVID, I was working in the nightlife industry for about 10 years. Started off promoting and then slowly built my way up and various venues working for one company, and then I started my own company and then started working directly in-house in a couple of venues such as Maddox and Mason House. And,
In London?
In London, yeah. We've done some fashion week events with different people in Italy, in Milan, and Paris.
Yeah.
That was just like more for fun, but also
Yeah.
networking. But yeah, main focus was on London.
Okay.
And then recently I was working at Charlie, which then became Lux, and then I switched over to Monkey House, which is more like a restaurant club vibe. It's a bit more what people are looking for nowadays. And then also I've been doing the last 4 seasons in Mykonos, working with the club over there, Void, for 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, Void.
The last 2 years been doing more freelance, direct requests for clients, villa bookings, all the things people might need.
And you do that all over the world or only in particular
Mostly
islands?
in Mykonos. Recently expanded a little bit to Tulum, a little bit in Ibiza also, but like at less demand for Ibiza. Mostly Mykonos and Tulum now.
Which one you prefer?
Probably Tulum overall.
Yeah? How come? It's
It's different depending on the season. Tulum is good in winter season, December, January, February, and then Mykonos, Ibiza, it's more June to September.
So now I assume you're gonna go soon to Tulum then because
so
winter.
I've been away. I was actually doing quarantine in Tulum. I thought it'd be a little better than staying in London
Much better.
without work. So
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a risk, but it paid off. It was actually quite nice.
Yeah.
A lot of people, some more contacts for my concierge business also. Then I went to Mykonos to work, and then went to Turkey to see some clients there and some friends there for the last 3 weeks. Then I just came back to London a couple of weeks ago. But it's still difficult times now with COVID here for the industry. So I feel like I'm gonna probably stay another month and then maybe go back to Mexico and do a few events over there. There's a lot more things happening over there right now.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more open with the whole situation. And I have a few opportunities over there, so I think I'll do that for 3 months. And it's kind of going with the flow at the moment and just seeing what opportunities come up.
So you mentioned that you have been spending the lockdown or most of it in Tulum in Mexico. So maybe you haven't been properly aware of what was happening in London with all the clubs closing, of course. Do you think it's now time to reopen the clubs? And if yes, to what extent? Will there be restrictions, or do you think we should open fully, or what's?
I think people still don't know for sure exactly if doing that will create a really big spike in the cases, or if it's just a little bit of spike just because people are going back out into the world. Who knows? I don't think letting smaller venues with not so much dance floor reopen properly will make a big difference.
Yeah.
I don't think this 6 person per table is making a difference. I think if I went to 4 house parties on Friday.
Yeah.
If I hadn't, if I was working, I probably would have been around less people than when I did on Friday night. And I think it's the same with most people. They're doing their own thing. They're inviting their friends over, doing whatever they want, and it's creating a bit of chaos. And people are getting annoyed with it, as you saw with the protest last week.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a little bit more flexibility. I think most of the cases now, very few people are dying, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they're taking it way out of proportion. So, but I think it's very political as well. So each government will do whatever they think is right.
Yeah.
More for the country itself and for the people. And the nightlife industry is probably the most hit by all this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I think probably they are open at lower capacity, which is not really working for most places, and a lot of places will have to close permanently because of that. I think probably they should give a little bit more flexibility.
So you think
I think the main reason there's an issue is that they're not doing any tests coming in the country. Nobody needs a PCR test to enter the country. No one's getting even a temperature check.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I've had people come in knowing they have coronavirus, entering the country. the government don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
They should be looking at the borders, not at the venues and the clubs inside.
Yeah, yeah.
That's much bigger problem.
Yeah.
If you stop it at the source, look at Russia. They're doing full-on parties, full-on events
Yeah, yeah.
every day because they don't let anybody in the country, which is also a big extreme. I think it needs to be a balance of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very difficult. A lot of people losing their jobs, and a lot of people don't really think about people who work in that industry.
No,
They just
but
think,
yeah.
oh, the club is closing, doesn't matter. Then 1,000 people behind lose their jobs, and behind that, other people are affected. So not everyone can work from home. People who do,
Yeah.
people in hospitality cannot work from home. It's very, very
Bartender from home, it doesn't exist.
difficult.
Doorman from home, DJ from home.
All these things.
Yeah. So let's forget the topic of Corona for a bit now, and let's speak more about the. So you've been living in London for how long so far?
11 years now.
11 years. So
Actually, I grew up here, but moved away to grew up in Monaco after that,
okay,
and then came back 11
and then
years.
came back to London. So what do you think of the music genres which are in London and this clash between West and East? The differences of music in between each different clubs?
Obviously, East End is a bit more techno, but also a little bit rock and roll. The underground clubs are more like on ticket sales and
Yeah.
table sales. Whereas West End, it's a little bit more hip hop focused, but you also have a few niche places which
Yeah.
play more. It's more deep house, Afro house, not so much techno.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, which is more my kind of style. But at the same time, the people who want to spend a lot of money generally are the ones going to listen to more hip hop style.
Yeah,
venues.
yeah. Some Chris Brown, Drake.
Yeah, it usually gets people spending a bit more. Those are the
Yeah.
ones who tend to spend more. So the clubs focus on where the money is, and they end up playing that kind of music, which not necessarily everyone likes.
Yeah.
But I think there's a trend now towards more dinner parties with deep house and a cooler crowd with a little bit of money spending.
Yeah.
And those probably end up now being the best kind of venues. A lot more members clubs are turning towards that kind of music, that kind
Yeah.
of style. Because they know the cool people with money who want to go to those cool places, they like that kind of music. And that's kind of the venues that I want to work with, at least either with a venue or with an event. That's the
Yeah.
kind of style that I'm looking to do for the future now when I decide when things start to get back to a little bit to normal.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully very soon.
Yeah. My plan now is probably to go to Mexico for a few months. I have some opportunities there, some clients over there, and they're doing quite a lot of events at the moment.
Yeah.
They're actually doing one Halloween weekend, and everyone will have to get tested for the weekend. It'll be the first corona-free event in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably events will start leading towards that kind of
Yeah,
style. Maybe they'll do more. Maybe you can do a Coachella if everybody tests negative. I mean, obviously, for some people, we'll be let down because they'll find out they're positive.
Yeah.
But I think that could be the future now for the next year or so. And I think a lot less people will be testing positive in the next 6 months to a year because they've already had it. I've had it in March, haven't had any symptoms or having tested positive since then. And a lot of my friends who didn't have it got positive a few weeks ago, and now they're completely fine. And I think they're going to have antibodies for a while now. So
Yeah.
the longer this goes, especially young people, I think it'll be a lot easier to start doing these kind of events.
To get back on the topic of music, what is your favorite music genre?
Well, at the moment, actually, I'm really liking the kind of hybrid DJ sets. So guys like Who Made Who and Jan Blomqvist, actually friends of mine as well, and I've booked them in the past.
Yeah.
I really enjoy those kind of live or semi-live sets.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
And the guys are very talented. They sing,
Yeah.
they create the tracks. It's always an amazing vibe. Whenever I'm there, I saw them in Burning Man in London, many different places. Recently in Istanbul, actually, Who Made Who played a private live gig for some friends of mine.
Yeah, I saw.
That was very cool. I also like the more Afro house stuff and a little bit more like darker side, like Adriatic Televaz.
Yeah.
You're in a really cool venue with nice people. They always know how to take you on the journey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If there was a back-to-back you would like to see soon, who would that be?
Well, I mentioned Afro house, but obviously Black Coffee, king of Afro house. I
Yeah.
think, what about back-to-back with you? Would be interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be good. Probably next summer in High Ibiza.
That could be good.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. So you have been working in the nightlife industry for around 10 to 11 years now. How do you see your career in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Well, I want to probably move away from working directly with one venue, which I've been doing for a long time. I feel like people are looking more for like experiences and events and cool things. So also another reason I would like to go to Mexico, they do a lot of these big productions, and I was thinking to go there and do a few things and learn from the guys who produce the events there.
Yeah.
And then maybe bring that back to London and start producing a few different things like that. And also potentially using my network and my contacts for something a bit bigger. Maybe working for a company, I don't know, in media or music.
Yeah.
And using my clients and my DJ connections to do something a little bit different outside of this space.
Would you try to organize your own festival at some point?
I also had that in mind, so I might try to put all these things together.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends who came up with a similar idea
Yeah.
as well. So we'll look into that maybe in the future, in a couple of years down the line.
So in the nightlife industry, there are some girls who are actually scared to be with guys who are working in the in clubs. Well, first of all, maybe a personal question: in the future, would you like to have a family, a wife, and kids?
Yeah, eventually, probably a little bit later than what most people normally want.
Okay.
I think probably when I'm around 40 and I'm a little bit more settled and I've had my fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something a bit more serious. Yeah.
So what would you say to your future wife if you are still working in the nightlife industry, to comfort her and to let her know that actually, even though that's your job, it's not going to interfere with your relationship with her in the future?
Well, for me, when it comes to relationships, always all or nothing. So if I'm with a girl, I'm always fully with her, or why do we just break up? It just doesn't work. So she can be safe to know if we're together, then that's it.
Okay, that's more than enough.
I've had my fun, and she's the one, you know.
Yeah.
I think eventually you just click with someone, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
You might see someone more beautiful or whatever, and you just it's fine. It's just not worth it.
You reject the other opportunities because you already have someone you're happy with.
I think it's better when you settle down later in life. You
Yeah.
get too early in life, then you get tempted by new people coming into your life.
Yeah.
So you see so many marriages fall apart when people get married too young.
Yeah.
My father got married to my mom when he was 37, and they're still together 33 years later. So
That's perfect. That's what we wish for you as well.
yeah, hopefully as well.
So now I'm gonna ask you a few questions unrelated to the nightlife, but about your own tastes.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite actor?
Oh, well, I love movies actually. I watch a lot. I'm gonna give two, both quite famous. So Christian Bale, just because pretty much every movie he does is a success and it's one that I really like. And he can also just transform himself from Dick Cheney to Batman
Yeah,
to
American Psycho.
American Psycho in so many different roles.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. And he's always using an accent which is not even his, which is insane. And also Robert Downey Jr., who was
Iron Man.
a lot of issues, went through a lot of drug problems, and to
Yeah.
come out like that and then just kill it with so many movies, Iron Man and all these other movies. And a little underlying sense of humor that he has, which
Yeah.
really comes out every time.
Yeah.
It's really something special. It's hard to just, it's hard to make that up, you know, you have to, that's this natural talent.
Yeah. What's your favorite club?
I'm gonna do outdoor club. It's probably gonna be in Mykonos, Alamagou. When it's pumping there, they have some big DJs. Andreas is a good friend of mine, the owner, and they really have some amazing parties there. I think some of my best fun nights in Mykonos what happened there. So.
What's your favorite city?
It's also a difficult one. I love Tulum. Whenever I go there, it's always a great time.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a beautiful city in general, between Rio and Cape Town, really blew me away. They really have everything.
Oh.
The mountains and the sea, and
Yeah.
people. I love South African and Brazilian people, and I have a lot of friends from both countries.
Yeah.
Those two are really like, wow.
Ronaldinho.
Oh yeah. But as well, the girls, not too bad in these
Yeah,
countries,
as
so
well.
that helps too.
Who's your model crush?
Let's take Kaya Gerber probably.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
Cindy Crawford's daughter. She's really killing it right now. She's only 19.
Yeah.
So an amazing face to see. That's my type. I would have definitely.
If you had to choose between spending one night with your crush or 10 nights with your second crush, what would you do?
10 nights with my second crush because there's a lot of ones to choose from.
Okay.
If I was gonna do 10 nights, probably someone a little bit older, maybe one of the classic. Isabel Goulart probably.
Well, Sean, it was a great pleasure to have you here to discuss with you and to know more about what you do.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and I hope to see you soon in one of the nightclubs which will open, or maybe in
See you
Tulum.
soon.
Yeah.
Maybe on the beach will be a little bit sooner.
It would be much better, yeah. All right, cool. Take care. See you.